Hi, I'm Serena Appiah from thriftiving.com. You know, buying a house is the biggest financial decision that you will ever have to make. And it's not a topic that we talk about much here at Thriftiving because we're usually talking about decorating, improving, and maintaining your home. But buying a home is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart because of my own misguided planning when buying this house. So for this video, I've teamed up with Homes.com, one of the largest home buying resources. And together, we've got some cool resources that will help you along in your home buying journey. Now, if you ask the right questions, do your research, and plan, it is possible to buy your own home in 12 weeks. So once you have that home, you can start doing some of those DIY projects that you've been wanting to do. So let's jump right into it with week one. Week one is one of the most exciting weeks on this home buying journey because it's the week when you finally make the decision, you know what, we are ready to move forward. And you have to get your spouse or partner on the same page. So talk to them, tell them your wants, your goals, and your needs, and then listen to their wants and goals and needs. And then together come up with some goals. So for example, how much house do you want to buy? What are those must-have features that you want in this new home? So use the week one printable in the home buying packet that I'm giving to you down below in the description and fill out what those answers are. And then there's also some financial things that have to be done this week. So you've got to check your FICO score. This is the step that can be a little nerve-wracking if you have no idea what that score is. And the minimum depends on the type of loan that you're getting. For example, an FHA loan may have a different minimum score compared to a conventional loan. So make sure that you know that. And a good rule of thumb is to improve your FICO score because that will determine the percentage that you get on your loan, and that can save you money. And also check the home buying guide below because there will be some tips on how to pull up your credit score if it's a little bit too low. Now, you'll also want to make sure you get copies of your credit scores from the 3 credit reporting agencies. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And you want to be sure that there are no errors and nothing unquestionable on there. And lastly, open a home buying savings account. This is for your down payment. Plan to just sock away as much cash as you can for your down payment and for those other home expenses. Now that's a lot to cover in just 1 week, but you can do it. Now it's time to move on to week 2. So now that you've made the decision to buy a house, you've opened up a home buying savings account, it's time to assemble your team. Now your team is the people who are going to help you buy a house, and you really shouldn't overlook the importance of a really great real estate agent, an efficient lender who has the money, and a skilled home inspector, and there's some other people that you need. Now, if you're like most people, you probably will need a home loan in order to buy this house. So start with your own bank or credit union and check the rates. But if you need some help, check with your agent. They're usually able to recommend a very reliable lender, and you'll have a home appraiser and a title company, but your lender and agent can usually provide those recommendations as well. Now, once you find your team, you want to get pre-approved this week. Now, this is different than getting pre-qualified. To get pre-approved, you actually need to have proof that you have income and that you can truly afford a house. You'll need proof that you're employed, you've got money for a down payment, you've got assets. I mean, you've got to pull some paperwork, and you need to know this number of what you can actually be approved for before you start looking for a home. You don't want to fall in love with a home and then it's completely out of your price range. So check out the home buying packet in the description for a list of the documents that you need to get together, including your pay stubs, your bank statements, and all of those things. Now, this is the exciting part because it's getting real. You're getting so much closer to being a homeowner. It's almost time to start looking at properties, but first, in week 3, it's time to get real. And this is probably the most important week of your 12-week home buying journey because you have to get real with knowing how much you can really afford for a home. I'm very passionate about this part of the journey because I made this mistake when buying a house in 2010. I only factored in the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance, and I totally forgot about the costs such as daycare and decorating and home improvement and all those things that you don't consider when looking to buy a house. So for week 3, you have to get real about how much home can you really afford and what are those monthly expenses going to be like. So you should look back on the past month and see how much money you've actually spent on food, eating out, entertainment, and use the spreadsheet in the home buying packet to tally up how much you've actually spent. That's going to tell you some real numbers. So just because the bank says that you can borrow $300,000 doesn't mean that your budget can actually afford $300,000. So you really have to know the numbers. Okay. Okay, so once you know how much you feel comfortable borrowing based on your down payment, your rate, your real life expenses, you have to spend some time searching for your new house now. And this is where things get really exciting. So figure out what your wants and needs are, and then share that information with your agent so that they can set up some home search criterias. And Homes.com has a really cool feature called Match. And this matching tool will actually match properties based on your must-have and your nice-to-have amenities. And it'll also match homes based on the schools that you want and any other parameters that you set. And it'll give you a match score. So for example, a home might be a 92% match. So this helps to narrow down some of those choices so that you can find your home faster. And Homes.com also has another cool tool called Snap and Search. This is really cool. You can actually upload some pictures of homes that you like. So maybe you found something on Pinterest, and if you upload that and it has a similar architectural style or exterior finish, they will match it for you. So that's pretty cool. Now let's move on to week 4. During week 4 through 9, you will be out there visiting so many properties with your agent, and this is a really exciting time. It may take you less than 6 weeks, or it may take you longer. Don't rush this process, because this is the home that you're going to spend the next 5 to 7 or more years in, and you want to make the right decision. Your agent will be so helpful in steering you in the right direction, but just make sure if anything changes during this time, let them know, let them update their search criteria so that you're both on the same page. Now, you also want to make sure that you know what questions that you should be asking for each property that you visit. For example, what's the position of the trees? Do any of the trees block the sunlight? Are any of the trees dying and may need to be cut down after you move in? I mean, these are important questions. What's the quality and the condition of the windows? Will they need to be replaced? And when we moved into this house, we didn't realize how drafty the windows were. We had bugs coming in the windows, and we ended up having to spend $14,000 to replace 22 windows. So you don't want to do those kind of repairs, so make sure you're asking the right questions. There is a form in the new home buying packet down below that will help you out, and you can take it with you to all the homes that you look at. Now, it may be only week 4, but it's never too late to start packing. All those things, getting prepared to move. So start collecting some boxes from your friends and family. Hey, just give me your extra boxes, and pack up the stuff, because the less that you have, the less you have to move. As I already mentioned, your home buying journey may take more or less time than the next person. So don't feel like you've got to rush out there and put an offer on a home in 10 weeks. This just serves as a guide on what to expect in this thing called a home buying journey. So let's just say though that at this point you did find a home that you loved and it meets your budget, it looks good, you're excited about it. So we have to move on to the next step, which is making the offer. So the offer usually includes things such as the price that you're willing to buy the home for, the address, a target date for when you're going to close, the time limit on the offer, and so much more information. And your agent will submit this offer with the earnest money deposit. And that is the deposit that says, look, I am serious about this property. I really want it. And this goes towards the down payment, or it goes towards the closing costs if it's accepted. Now, if your offer is accepted, which is very exciting, you have to let your lender know that the financial ball needs to get rolling at this point. And since you've done all the pre-approval, the process should be pretty simple and easy at this point. So let's move on to the next step, which is getting your home inspection, because that's pretty important. Once your offer has been accepted, it's time to get your home inspection done. Generally, it's great to go through your agent because they have a lot of recommendations. Whatever your decision, check their references, interview them, and learn more about the inspection process. And you'll actually be there during the inspection, so you will learn a lot during the inspection. Now, most home inspections are not required by most lenders, but it doesn't make any sense to not do it. I mean, it's $250 to $400. And it's done by a licensed home inspector, and you really want them to review that property before you buy it. So if there are things found, you can have the seller fix them, you can get a credit, or maybe there's some things that are small and you don't really care. Now, if there are some major projects that have to get done, you may be able to walk away from this property. Around this time, the home appraisal will be done by the home appraiser, and that's arranged by the lender just to make sure that the home is really worth the purchase price that you and the seller agreed upon. Now, it's debated whether you should have the home appraisal done first or if you should do the home inspection, but talk to your agent about what you think is best and what they think is best for your potential new home. Now, if everything checks out with the appraisal and your seller and you have worked out all your home inspection repairs, you want to contact your insurance company, because you can't go to closing unless you have proof that you've gotten insurance on this new property. Now, if you've got car insurance or other insurance, it's usually best to start there because you can bundle them together and it'll save you more money than going separately with separate insurance companies. Now, the next step is the final walkthrough and then closing. So you're getting close, very close. By this point, you are so close to owning your own home. You still need to do the final walkthrough though, which is a very important step to make sure that any repairs that need to be done and any repairs that have been negotiated between you and the seller have been completed. And you want to make sure that you check the exterior of the house, the ceilings, the floors. In fact, there's a really great checklist in the home buying packet that you can take along to your final walkthrough just to make sure that you didn't miss anything. Now, you may be closing this week too, and this is so exciting. Closings are generally held at the escrow company, or they could be at the title company. The seller generally isn't there, so you're not going to have to run into them. And it'll likely just be you, your agent, and the closing agent. Now, you'll have to bring your photo ID and bring the certified check that you'll need for your closing costs and your down payment. And remember, you'll need that proof of insurance and the final sales contract, which the agent and they will provide that for you. But you want to just check it, make sure everything looks really good, that there's no errors. And just to let you know, you will be filling out a stack of papers like this. There's like 30 to 40 documents in there, but you're going to be so excited you're not going to care because you are going to be a homeowner. Here's a little trick though. Try to schedule your signing of the papers early in the morning and try to do it on a day that's not Friday. So if there are minor errors, you can get those taken care of quickly. Now, you may not get your keys on the same day as the closing because there could still be some behind the scenes paperwork that needs to be done, but don't worry, your keys will be in your hand very soon. And once you get those keys, there are some final things that you got to do before you move in, right? You got to get a change of address form from the post office, and you want to put your utilities in your name. If you want to clean your house and make it look really, really clean, just hire a housekeeper, okay? You don't want to deal with all those things. And also, you might want to consider changing the locks or rekeying the entry. So whether your home buying journey takes 12 weeks or 6 months, once you understand step by step how to plan properly, the entire process seems a little bit easier, doesn't it? Buying a home is exciting, and when you've got a great team, the entire process can be very seamless and very rewarding. So for more information on how to buy a home, check out homes.com. And for more information on how to decorate that new home and improve it and maintain it yourself on a budget, you can find me at thriftiving.com. And be sure to download the free helpful resource for home buying in the packet down below. And I will see you next video. Good luck.